everyone. Welcome to another Hot Seat Spotlight for the Fall 2025 Builder Innovators Summit. Today, I'm joined by someone who truly understands both sides of the builder world. He's been out in the field leading construction site teams and overseeing building operations. And now he's on the front lines of helping builders rethink what's possible with smarter integrated tools. Please welcome Conor Sedam, Director of Customer and Partnership Marketing at Higharc. Conor, thanks so much for joining me.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. It's always great to talk to you.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump right in. You've been in the industry for over 20 years, so I know many of our builders already know your name. But what's something they might not know about you that's shaped how you work today?
Well, 25 years ago now, getting, getting up there. I started out as a customer service rep for Pulte. I started on December 1st in 2003, and I did 22 customer walkthroughs and closings in the month of December, having no idea what to do. And I think that was a great introduction to the chaos that residential home building can be. I spent 5 years at Pulte and learned a ton, and it was great to start at what some people would say the end of the process and move backwards from there. So starting out doing walkthroughs through the first year warranty, kind of moving to being a superintendent, project manager, and then now all the way back to tech. So
With everything that you've seen with builder processes and workflows, what's one thing that's holding builders back, and what's something they're doing wrong? Maybe they should be doing something different instead.
yeah, it's one of the reasons I started with Higharc is I saw it as a different way to try and solve a problem that always frustrated me, which was waiting on the correct information. So I think giving home builders the agility and the speed, which are two slightly different things, to be able to operate. It's not just about how fast you can do something, but just making it easier, and being able to trust that the information that we have out in the field and that we have between departments is the most accurate and updated information.
So, with working with Higharc, I'm sure you get builders who are kind of hesitant to get started, or maybe they have a lot of fears or misconceptions about just your software, your tools that you provide in general. What's something that you feel like can kind of help them through that, or maybe what's a misconception that other builders may have that you can kind of nix or correct here and now?
Yeah, I think when I was a construction director, I evaluated a lot of technology and used some different software. It always, unfortunately, felt like I was alone in that journey. You'd reach out and say, "I need to be able to do this," and they would say, "Well, you can't, but you can do this." And that was kind of the end of the conversation. And I think one of the special things about Higharc is the customer success team, which is, maybe I'm biased because I started on the customer success team when I started at Higharc 4 years ago, but they truly, there's a massive amount of home building knowledge on that team, and experts. And when you work with Higharc, I think one of the differences between a lot of other tech companies is really do get a partner, and somebody who's committed to helping and committed to going through the entire implementation process and beyond with you. Our customers, we don't just sign them up and then say, "Here's a bunch of training information. Good luck." It's a 100% collaborative process, and I think that's important when you're taking on something new. Having good coaches and teammates on both sides that are truly bought in makes all the difference.
Let's switch gears a little bit and talk about one of the panels that you'll be on at the summit. You'll actually be on two panels, but one of them will be within our digital solutions track. And on this one, you will be sitting down with Paul Hansen from Epcon Communities, and you guys will be talking about your partnership, your collaboration, how you work together on customizing the floor plans for Epcon Communities. So I would like to know, what's one thing that you hope the builders in the audience will learn or take from that session specifically?
I think we've been talking about it for a couple of years, and I don't think it's any secret to anybody now that visualization makes a big difference for buyers. And I think about the way I purchase things online, and how I'll dip back onto a website and then leave, and dip back onto a website and leave, and dip back onto a website, and I get a little farther in the journey each time. So I hope we can show the builders in the audience that the ability to have this type of information online, where buyers who might be more hesitant or don't or aren't ready to just fully jump in, that this can really make a difference and move them farther along in their journey, without necessarily any interaction with a salesperson or a sales center. The difference between customization and personalization, and when we can make things that we have as options feel more personal, that can make all the difference to a buyer. You can go on the Nike website and design shoes. You're not customizing in the true sense. You're not talking to somebody at Nike and saying, well, I want my shoe to be twice as wide as normal or twice as tall as normal. But you can do a lot of these personal touches that make it feel like your own shoe. And that's what we're trying to do with home building. Is we've offered options in the home building industry for a long time. That's not a new thing, but being able to allow the customers to really connect with that option visually and understand what they're buying, it moves the process along faster and gives the buyer more confidence in what they're purchasing.
Speaking of that, what's one practical way that a builder could do this week to improve their buyer experience?
This week,
Yeah,
call
something
me, set up a
maybe.
meeting with Higharc. Uh,
That's easy.
um, I go back to all the times where I would get a call as a construction director from a salesperson. I was also managing selections and estimating and purchasing as well. And getting a call from a member of our sales team asking about an option, and finding out and having to tell them that that option was no longer available or that the price had changed. So what can you do this week? I think the more we can empower our teams to make sure they have the most updated information. And so if I would say one thing, and this is going to be obvious to some people, but less obvious to others, is evaluate the lines of your communication between your departments, and how quickly can you pass information to make sure that every department has what they need in order to do their job, and isn't ever going to have to go back to a customer and say, I looked into this and it turns out we don't offer it anymore, or it turns out this layout has changed, or it turns out it's more expensive. So I would say evaluate that. It doesn't take tech to do that. Companies like Higharc try to make it easier through tech, but start by evaluating it and see if you can improve that process in any way.
Well, Connor, thank you so much for joining us in the hot seat. It was a pleasure having you today. And if you're watching this and you want to learn more about Conor Sedam, please be sure to check out his full expert profile page on builderinnovator.com.